Mau top up game tapi takut ilegal? Atau pada proses kerjanya lama? Atau harganya pada mahal-mahal? Jangan khawatir karena sekarang Jajan Wild Guys, Nogi di sini and welcome back to my channel. Jadi guys, ya sorry kemarin gue nggak bisa nobar atau bikin videonya kemarin karena kemarin gue ada urusan seharian ya. Gue jadi baru bisa bikin itu hari ini. Dan demi gue nggak ngelihat any spoiler atau apa-apa, gue emang nggak ngelihat spoiler, gue nggak ngelihat preview dari manapun gitu ya. Jadi gue bener-bener juga masih baru dan gue belum tahu isi Wild Rift Patch 4.0 ini apa aja. Jadi di video ini gue bakal nonton, ibaratnya bareng sama kalian, reaksi-reaksi gue di awal-awal. Terus habis itu bakal pendapat gue mengenai topiknya satu-satu. Gue belum tahu sini bakal ngomongin apa aja, gue cuma lihat videonya 13 menit dan gue lihat ada Ellen juga ada itu skin Renekton apa keren banget anjir. Terus habis itu bawahnya itu siapa? Ah, megang senjata kayak gitu, bukan Ahri kan? Tapi itu juga kayaknya skin dua-duanya tuh eksklusif buat Wild Rift kayaknya kalau sementara gue lihat kayaknya ya. Gue nggak inget ada skin LoL PC yang kayak gitu, tapi maafkan gue kalau gue salah. And ya, jadi langsung kita mulai aja buat kita nonton. Yang gue juga bingung ya guys, ya gue tuh udah cari yang kayak videonya tuh yang ada bahasa Indonesia ya. Ini kalau misalnya dia settingnya ada nggak ya? Subtitlenya kalau ada bahasa Indonesia auto translate ke Indonesia, kita coba deh ya. Karena tadi gue cari ternyata Wild Rift Indonesia tuh belum ada. Padahal ini udah keluar kemarin kan, tapi mereka belum ada video yang patch yang ini di channel Indonesianya. Oke, yuk gas, yuk kita tonton ya.
Hey everyone, Alan here from the Wild Rift team. I was off spending my wild cores, but now I'm all out. So I'm excited to be back and kick off this patch preview. First, a quick heads up. The new year brings new patch numbers, so we're dropping that boring old 3 and bringing out a shiny new 4.0. That being said, our content cadence isn't based on an annual cycle, so that new number isn't tied to huge changes. That's because any patch for Wild Rift can bring pretty major updates, not just the one in January. We changed a huge aspect of the game a few patches ago with Elemental Rift, and we have some adjustments for this patch that are sure to shift the meta. In short, don't get anchored on that 4.0. We're going to bring gameplay changes when they're ready. Anyway, this patch, we're looking forward to some excitable champions, improvements for yet another role, and even more things to test in the jungle. Of course, we'll also go over our next big event and the skins you can look forward to. Welcome to Wild Rift Patch 4.0 Rising Spark.
Oke, ada apa aja ya guys ya? Gue mau lihat nih.
Hey everyone, it's Maddie, Champions Product Lead on Wild Rift. We thought our roster needed more mischief, glitter, and world-warping arcane energy. With all that in mind, Zoe, the aspect of Twilight, is ready to reshape the reality of mid lane, or support for extra chaos. Zoe is a burst mage who wants to steal spells, snipe enemies, and cause as much trouble as possible with portals. Her first ability, Paddle Star, throws a missile that can be redirected in flight. The farther it travels, the more damage it deals. So when tap casting, at first the missile will fly away from your enemy. Then, recast the ability to sling it back towards them. This works super well with her ultimate, Portal Jump, which allows Zoe to blink to a new position and then blink back. This ult has a low cooldown, so get creative with Paddle Stars to delete your enemies from existence. With her second ability, Spell Thief, Zoe can steal enemy spells and enchantments on cast, which will appear on the ground for her to pick up. They'll also drop when your team last hits a minion that's holding a balloon. She can only hold one stolen cast at a time, so use them or lose them. Last but not least, Zoe's third ability launches a bubble that puts an enemy to sleep after a delay. Attacking them will deal double damage, so snipe your snoozing foes with a long-range Paddle Star for maximum effect. If you love rubbing salt in the wounds of your mid lane enemies, give Zoe a try. She's super random, and I hope she wins. And now, we're going from Z to Z. Bring the lightning with Zeri, the spark of Zon, electrifying the dragon
Dari Zon lagi ya?
Like most marksmen, the majority of Zeri's damage comes from attacking enemies. But her attack, Burst Fire, works a little differently than you might expect. When you tap the attack button as Zeri, you'll fire in a direction and damage the first enemy hit, just like a skill shot. So be sure to aim as you go. Zeri passively gains movement speed whenever she gets a shield, and she also has some tools to slow her opponents down. Her first ability, Electrocute, zaps an enemy with a slow. and her second ability, Ultra Shock Laser, fires a beam that damages and slows the first target hit. If the beam hits a wall, it'll extend its range and fire through it, applying its effects in an area. Zeri's third ability, Spark Surge, is her tool for great escapes. Cast it to dash forward and empower your next attacks. If Zeri dashes to a wall, she'll jump all the way over it. Use her ultimate, Lightning Crash, to shock nearby enemies and gain stacks of overcharge for each champion hit. While overcharged, Zeri gains movement speed, attack speed, and bonus damage. Her attack is faster and chains to nearby enemies, and she'll extend this effect with takedowns. As you can see, Zeri is all about attacking fast and moving fast. Pick her up, and you'll be zipping and zapping across the rift. And those are our new champions for the Rising Spark patch. We've got a healthy dose of positivity with these two, so I hope they'll bring a smile to your face. Go forth and tilt your opponents with cheerfulness and tons of damage. And now, I'll hand it over to David for even more updates.
Gameplay update nih yang gue belum dengar apapun soal gameplay update.
I'm David, Associate Game Director for Wild Rift. Let's sparkle our way to the gameplay changes for this patch. The 3-act gameplay structure is super important for Wild Rift.
Early?
Players feel the ramp up from early to mid and to late game.
Bener kan gua kan.
Looking over the last few patches, we feel there's room for improvement for the late stages of the game.
Late game mau
The
diperbaikin.
focus here is to increase the opportunities for comebacks while maintaining the frenetic pace of Wild Rift. First, we're adding inhibitor respawns. So once an inhibitor is destroyed, it'll come back again after a little while. This way, the game won't feel like it is completely over if you lose an inhibitor early. And you'll be able to focus more on facing off against the enemy team and less on their minions. Continue with the theme of climactic game ends, we're adding a mechanic that limits turtling. Once you reach the super late game, towers will begin to burn and eventually collapse. And while we don't expect this effect to trigger frequently, we want you to feel the urgency of pushing your advantage or coming back from your disadvantages. Every patch, we look to make improvements to specific roles. Last patch was all about the jungle. And for the Rising Spark patch, we're looking to improve the tank experience.
Tank ya dikuatin
Tanks
nih.
are often the unsung heroes, and it's time to show you some love with our updates.
Tank ya guys
The
ya.
high-level goal is for the success and achievements of tank players to be more visible to all players. Tank items provide a ton of utility, but their effects are often subtle, so it's difficult for you and your teammates to notice when you're using them well. So first, we're getting some new and improved Shopkeeper stock for you. Right now, Ixali's Seajar and Demon's Plate are great first picks for tank supports.
Betul.
But they're mostly benefiting players who want to roam all around the map. If you're more of an aggressive tank support who wants to get ahead through laning, Dawn Shroud is now your item of choice.
Wah, item baru
When
ya?
you mobilize a champion, Dawn Shroud's passive will damage and reveal nearby enemy champions. This effect will also trigger if you are immobilized. Next, we're reworking some other tank items
buat nge-snowball
to make the powers
di lane.
more clear and easier to appreciate. Random's Omen is getting a new passive. When you're hit by a critical strike, you'll now gain stacks. Attacking a champion will consume the stacks and heal based on the damage you took. This is
Randuin
replacing
gila.
one of the item's old passives,
Randuin
which
ini
reduce
gila sih.
damage from all critical strikes. Starting this
gila.
patch, you'll need to attack to make full use of the damage reduction instead of passively gaining it, which will reward good decision making as a tank.
Gila.
Frozen Hearts effect
tank
is
bisa
also
carry nih
changing.
guys.
Now, basic attacks and spells will apply stacks to your target. They will also gain stacks from attacking or hitting you or your allies with spells. Each stack will slow your enemy's attack speed, up to a cap. We hope that with a stacking debuff, instead of an effect with constant uptime, Frozen Heart's impact will be more noticeable overall.
Pasti pas stack
Outside of
tuh
that,
lebih gede.
we're working on more tanky details that we'll share with you in an upcoming issue of Wild Rift News.
Masih ada lagi.
Overall, you should expect new improvements for different roles across future patches as we look to continuously improve the general game health.
Kalau gitu jungle kayak Lee Sin, early game makin kurang dong dikit.
For the Rising Spark patch, we're bringing back a game mode we all know and love.
Earth.
All random, ultra rapid fire mode is making its triumphant return to the Rift. Queue up and play a completely random
kita
champion
bisa mabar
with
Earth
super
lagi ya,
speed
guys, ya.
spells. We're also using this game mode to test something new. In this patch, we're introducing Execute Smite, just for AR masters.
Execute Smite.
If you're jungling you'll choose Smite for your loadout as usual. But Smite's effect won't be an active that you press. It will now be a passive instead. When you damage a monster and cause its health to fall below Smite's total damage, the spell will automatically trigger, effectively smiting the camp for you.
Why?
There's no cooldown for this effect, so don't worry about accidentally wasting Smite and blue buff when you meant to use it at Dragon. There's plenty of Execute Smites to go around.
Buat
I
apa
know
ya?
this sounds pretty wild, and the final version of the Execute Smite might end up being a little different, depending on where our playtests land.
Kenapa ya?
But
Ini
we'll
gua
have
nggak
more
orang
exact details for you in the patch notes.
Okay.
So if you are an ARF playing jungle main, keep an eye out and let us know.
Nanti kita bahasnya abis ini ya.
As always,
Quality
we're
of
looking to
life.
improve the Wild Rift experience, both in and out of the game. So here's a few quality life updates we got in the Rising Spark patch. ARM titles have been around for a little while now. We'll be
ARM
adding some
titles.
sub-tiers to some of those titles, so that it's easier to track your climb. If you're a master of the
ditambahin
Abyss,
aja ya.
we're excited to give you some new milestones to show off.
Udah pernah dapet yang
Do you
tertingginya.
think you're the best mid laner out of your friend list? Well, this patch, you can prove it. We're adding a role leaderboard, where you'll be able to compare your role score
Wow.
with your friends.
Buat
You'll
teman-teman
also
ya.
be able to see the top players for each role in your region.
In your region.
Best of the best
Itu
will
keren
receive
sih.
a special title.
In your
We're
region,
also
guys.
adjusting how role scores work as a whole. At the start of a new rank season, your role scores will be reset. But you'll gain a boost for role scores gained in the future based on your performance past season. So you can try and reach even greater heights in your quest for lane dominance. Now, I'll pass it back to Alan to round out the rest of this patch preview.
Season 8 ya guys ya. Udah mau ya.
Ranked Season 8 is here, and glorious Crimson Nami is ready to make some waves.
Nami?
Play ranked games to claim her from the
Keren
Season
juga.
Awards tab. And don't
Oke lah,
forget,
keren
you
lah
can pick up
skinnya,
her
guys.
weapon augment upgrade from
Keren
the
lah,
ranked
keren
store.
lah.
Best of luck on the ladder, and may your
Cakep
victory
juga.
points rise like
Nami
the tide.
anjir. Gragas kok mana?
A new masked villain is ready to take the city by a
Ini siapa
storm,
ya?
along with any valuables he can
Ini
lay
siapa
his
ya?
hands on. Heroes beware, supervillain Graves is ready
Graves,
to lie,
Graves.
cheat, and steal his way to the end of Wild Pass Season 8, and look cool while doing it. Be sure to plunder his Ascended skin from the Wild Pass Emporium
Keren
before he
juga.
sneaks away.
Lihat deh, gue mau lihat, harus lihat efeknya kita.
This patch is bringing plenty of good luck and festivities. Lunar New Year is coming, and we've got some surprises in store for our event. Get ready to explore a world inspired by paper
skin apa aja
cutting
nih ya?
art, where you'll get to know a few different champions and
Who's
help
that?
them enjoy the
Diana?
celebration. The New Year is a busy time, so you have to group up to grab everything you need, but that's all we can say for now. Just make sure you're ready to cook up some fun.
Jadi inget
We're
dulu pas
also bringing
event.
back a futuristic theme that many
Project.
of you will recognize.
Project.
If high-tech
Keren
cyberpunk
sih ya
energy is your
skin-skinnya si Wild
speed,
Rift sih. Gila.
Project Surge is ready to initiate
Desainnya parah
patch
sih.
4.0. Your directive is clear, so prepare for new skins and new rewards when this event commences.
Project Renekton, bener kata gue. Skin Lunarnya masih nggak tahu ya
And
itu
of
Lunar
course,
siapa
the
aja.
moment we've all been waiting
Skin
for.
montage?
It's time for a look at our skins coming this patch. Whether you're an attentive student or a bit of a cut-up, we're sure there's something in this montage for you.
Battle Arcade-nya Leona. Yoi, keren. Gila, skin-skinnya tuh itu the best part of Wild Rift ya sekarang ya. Skin Wild Rift sih gila sih. Firecracker Vade. Wih, cakep. Itu siapa? Oh, Seraphine. Mythmaker. Gwennya keren banget. Jadi pengen belajar Gwen. Mythmaker Zoe. Ini skinnya ada di League of Legends gak sih? Gue gak tau deh. Mythmaker Camille. Wah gila, cakep ya. Merah putih lagi kayak Indonesia ya. Kelinci, siapa yang kelinci nih? Bam! Gila. Gue dari tadi gak ada hype apa-apa, tapi sama skinnya hype banget anjing emang. Gila, Wild Rift buat skin-skinnya ya. Kacau. Kalau Project Lucian mah be banget gila dibandingin sama yang udah ada. Keren tetep sih. Project Master, ya Project Mastery juga bagus ya. Is. Project Zeri, emang Project Zeri tuh pernah ada di itu ya? Di League of Legends ya?
Thanks for
Parah
joining
anjir
us in
Project
this
Zeri.
patch preview. Let us know how these gameplay changes feel, especially for the tank players out there. Plus, we hope you'll enjoy our newest zippy, zany champions. Just watch out where you put those portals, okay?
Sneaky, sneaky.
That's all for now, and I'll see you on the Rift in the Rising Spark update.
Kelar. Oke yuk, kita bahas yuk dari awal sampai ke akhirnya gitu. Tadi ada partnya apa aja, gue bakal loncat-loncat jadi ya biar nggak semua banget ya. Jadi pertama dia bilang ada banyak perubahan gitu kan, ada 2 champion gitu, ada satu Zoe, sama abis itu satu lagi itu Zeri. Untuk dua-duanya nanti kalau mungkin udah ada di PB gue bisa bikinin konten, tapi Zoe itu biasanya dipakai di mid lane, katanya bisa juga berarti di support ya. Lu udah ngeliat skillnya tadi, dia tuh champion yang tipenya bisa nge-one shot, skill satu itu bisa sakit banget, dan dia tuh mainnya perlu mekanik banget menurut gue, setara kayak mirip-mirip kayak Z gitu ya, dia agak ribet Zoe itu. Ya pastiin aja dia champion lumayan bermekanik ya. Sama kalau Zeri, gue tuh udah gak main di LoL PC pas si Zeri tuh muncul, tapi gue tahu dia tuh agak unik sih. Dia tuh ADC lah ya, ADC yang dia tuh kerjanya tuh nge-kite. Pokoknya lo kalau main Zeri intinya tuh lo harus sambil gerak, pukul sambil terus jalan. Pokoknya lo nggak boleh berdiri di tempat doang. Jangan lupa auto attack-nya juga skill shot lagi. Jadi ini juga bakal menarik sih nanti pas udah bakal di Wild Rift ya. Oke, jadi kita udah ngeliat 2 championnya itu ya. Terus next yang gila banget sih itu ya, itu tuh si David yang ngomong soal tadi ya, tank ya langsung ya. Jadi yang si sebelum tank pertama itu ada soal inhibitor. Ini nih soal inhibitor sama soal self-destructing turret tuh gue mikir ini tuh bakal memperlama game atau mempercepat game, itu aja yang gue peduli. Karena itu sekarang aja ya, Wild Rift itu tuh katanya sih dia bilang ini untuk bisa ke comeback gitu ya. Tapi gue mau taunya ya intinya ini bakal memperlama game atau enggak. Gue mau tahu tower mulai hancurnya tuh kapan, inhibitor tuh mulai bisa hidupnya tuh kapan, setiap berapa menit, karena itu faktor yang penting banget buat tahu ini game tuh bisa lebih cepat atau lebih lama. Karena menurut gue kalau kita mengincar bener-bener yang kayak market Indo ya, gue udah ngeliat sih buat Indo lah, Wild Rift gimana maju di Indo kan. Orang Indo tuh sukanya tuh game yang lebih singkat. Gue aja belakangan tuh lagi main game tembak-tembakan yang per gamenya 5 menit kira-kira, 6 menit maksimum, dan itu tuh rame, kayak orang tuh banyak yang mau main kalau misalnya game itu kayaknya tuh lebih singkat gitu sebenarnya guys. Jadi gue mau tahu ini tuh bisa membuat game jadi 30 menit plus itu hal normal, atau malah jadi maksimum banget 20 menit itu gamenya udah kelar. Itu yang gue bener-bener mau tahu sih, karena itu menurut gue bakal mempengaruhi. Kalau lu bisa bilang ke teman lu, main aja nih WR nih, mentok-mentok cuma 20 menit kok, dibanding kayak iya sih satu gamenya bisa setengah jam lebih sih sekarang sih, pasti lebih rame ya 20 menit. Jadi gue berharap perubahan ini walaupun ya ada comeback ada enggak, tapi gue tahu orang-orang itu tuh suka tuh game yang lebih agak pendek gitu. Nah, kalau agak pendek ya orang lebih kayak rela buat kayak main, dan walaupun kalah bisa main lagi. Itu yang gue sadarin belakangan di Indo gitu. Terus habis itu kita coba lihat lah ini tower yang bisa nge-self destruct juga. Sekali lagi kata gue tuh gue cuma mau tahu ini tuh mulainya di menit berapa. Pokoknya intinya bisa mempercepat game in general nggak kelarnya. Habis itu kita mulai Jungle ada satu item support baru yang gue tertarik banget. Dia bener banget dia ngomongin Deadman sama Xtali tuh. Kalau misalnya kayak party 5 terutama Xtali tuh ada yang bisa bikin Deadman emang buat bisa ngeroam. Lu kalau mau nge-snowball di lane sekarang bisa ada down shot-nya si Leona, dimana lu bakal katanya dapet merusak dan mengungkapkan champion musuh di sekitar kalau lu nge-immobilize musuh, atau nggak kalau lu di-immobilize musuh. Jadi menarik, ini intinya sih item buat nge-snowballin lebih gila lagi. Padahal dulu Deadman ada pun lu nggak usah gitu ngerom, udah berguna banget di lane. Jadi gue anggap kalau misalnya kayak ada support musuh bikin Deadman sama supportnya kita bikinnya downshot, gue expect-nya ya berarti downshot tuh fungsinya tuh lebih kuat buat kayak lawan-lawanan. Terus jangan lupa lu kalau jadi champion support tank sekarang ada item buff tuh 3. Ada Randuin, ada Frozen, sama ada item baru yang tadi si Downshot kan. Randuin Omen sekarang kalau misalnya kena critical strike kita akan dapat menumpuk, bakal dapat stack, dan kalau misalnya kita menyerang champion musuh kita bakal ada healing berdasarkan damage yang kita terima juga. Itu gila gak sih? Menurut gue sih ini beda banget, ini game changing banget. Dulu kan tank lu kalau Randuin, oke nih gue udah tahan ya, gue udah tahan sebisa gue ya, dan lu kalau pukul tetap gak ada rasa. Tapi sekarang gue udah tahan, lu masih bisa pukul juga, dan pukulannya bisa jadi berasa. Itu benar-benar bisa game changing banget sih. Selama ini tank tuh emang kerjanya yang nge-sisi, damage tuh gak bakal ada berasa sama sekali. Jadi sekarang lu harus was-was banget sama tank nih kelihatannya nih. Menarik banget. Terus habis itu ada Frozen Heart juga kan. Nah, Frozen Heart juga berubah katanya. Serangan dasar dan spell akan menerapkan stack ke targetnya lu gitu. Mereka akan dapat stack dari menyerang atau memukul kita atau ally kita juga. Jadi gini gue expect Randuin sama Frozen dua-duanya nge-stack juga. Ini kalau misalnya dua-duanya dibikin gitu ya, ini tuh bakal kayak item armor yang udah gila dan gak memaafkan musuh sama sekali banget lah ya. Kalau ini sampai ada Frozen Heart, ada Randuin, sampai itu musuhnya banyak adek. Sekarang harusnya tuh jungle udah berkuasa banget. Tapi yang gue gak ngeliat item defense yang AP kalau nggak dinaikin, apakah ini akan jadi metanya Magic guys? Karena ini yang di buff abis-abisan kelihatan ya itu Randuin sama si Frozen Heart. ADC bakal makin nggak dipakai lagi nggak? Sekarang aja udah jarang yang pakai ADC kalau di meta turnamen. Itu yang harus kita lihat juga, masalah meta gitu ya. ADC berarti makin kayak bisa kayak udah deh dilupakan aja deh. Orang-orang bakal lebih main APC kayaknya. Abis itu main bruiser mid lane gitu. Bruiser mid yang mungkin dibikin si Randun atau Frozen Heart bisa juga, ya nggak sih? Oke, jadi kita udah ngeliat bagian itu. Ada game mode, ada Aru Urf, dan yang gue nggak ngerti kenapa mereka ada kayak smite itu loh, smite execute. Jadi maksudnya lu tuh nggak usah mencet smite, dan itu bakal ke smite sendiri. Jadi cara kalau misalnya ada jungle musuh yang nge-attack juga, siapa yang bakal dapat? Sistemnya kah yang kayak memutuskan? Jadi kalau misalnya nih, bayangin ya guys ya, ini dragon nih. Nah, lu lagi fight dragon sama musuh, sama jungle musuh nih. Dua-duanya tuh lagi pukul-pukulan. Terus siapa yang bakal smite dapat? Dua-duanya dapat dong. Kalau nggak adil dong secara sistem dong. Itu menurut gue agak aneh sih. Siapa yang ngehit terakhir pada saat jaraknya masuk smite kali ya? Gue nggak ngerti juga. Gue sih kepikiran alasan mereka yang bikin ini itu mungkin gara-gara smite tuh jarang kepencet dan selalu ada. Cooldownnya tuh terlalu pendek. Itu masuk akal sih. Tapi kalau misalnya smite-nya dipakai pas lagi objektif gede juga kan tetap aja walaupun Aru Urf ada Baron, ada Dragon, ada Herald. Siapa yang bakal dapat itu? Kalau ada yang mau colong-colongan hutan, siapa yang bakal dapat? Gue, tapi harusnya ini kan kita ngomongin Riot Games, kita ngomongin Wild Rift. Mereka pasti udah mikirin sih, itu kalau sampai terjadi, mereka pasti udah ada ngomong. Orang, misalnya champion terakhir yang mukul, pada saat HP-nya turun, dia yang bakal ke smite-nya duluan gitu, itu ya. Tapi kita lihat aja yang itu aja yang gue rasa agak aneh sih. Gue bisa mengerti karena smite tuh cooldown-nya tuh pasti cepet banget sebenarnya, karena paling cuma kayak sekitar 10 detik ya bisa dipakai terus. Jadi makanya dibikin otomatis kayak gini. Jadi biar jungle-nya nggak usah terlalu fokus kayak pencet smite terus kali ya. Terus habis itu kita lanjut, kita ngelihat Aram. Nah, gue udah pernah dapat Aram Legend, Aram King gitu ya sekali ya. Udah nggak usah. Terus habis ini ada yang menarik. Kita ada server leaderboard, tapi bukan cuma server leaderboard, kita bisa ada leaderboard sama teman-teman kita, dan kita katanya ada region juga. Nah, gue penasaran, kita tuh region SEA atau region Jakarta, Pekanbaru, Medan gitu misalnya kan, keren juga sih, Pontianak, Bandung. Gue berharap sih kayak gitu mungkin ya, gue penasaran juga gitu, nanti ada berapa banyak orang. Tapi di WR China ini juga diterapin dari season awal gitu loh, kalau di WR China sih. Itu menarik, yang itu menarik gue akuin. Jadi nanti kita bisa ngeliat kita sama teman-teman kita itu kayak, wah siapa sih yang nomor berapa di daerah sini gitu. Habis itu kita ngomongin si rank, ya rank ada skin Nami, biasa aja. Kita ngomongin ada Wild Pass, Grace juga menurut gue tuh lumayan keren. Gue harus ngeliat efeknya, senjatanya lu lihat gak? Ini kayak Batman tau. Itu juga keren menurut gue. Ada event yang ini juga kelihatannya tuh keren banget, ini kayak anime banget ya. Dan itu tadi kita udah tahu ya, itu Seraphine, mythmaker Seraphine. Terus habis itu ini juga project, gila. Skin-skinnya sih keren-keren sih. Gue jujur paling hype di patch-an depan ya cuma skinnya sih kayaknya sih. Gameplay changes dan segala macem gue kayak agak B aja, tapi skin-skinnya sih lihat. Lihat. Aduh cakep-cakep banget. Ini juga lucu banget. Mythmaker tuh eksklusif Wild Rift gak sih ya? Gila sih Kamilnya juga. Abis itu guys, ini merah putih semua loh. Lo bisa kayak semacam ngomong kayak, wah Indonesia, skin bendera Indonesia gitu ya. Gila. Orang Indo sih seneng sini sama ini sih. Merah putih semua guys. Project Renektonnya keren banget sih. Lu lihat gak sih? Merinding gue ngeliat skin-skinnya, desainnya. Jadi udah sih guys, mengenai patch ini gue udah ngeliat ya ada banyak perubahan gini-gini gitu-gitu, bagus. Tapi ya dari gue sedikit ya penutup ya, mungkin kalau misalnya lu bisa ngeliat juga gue tuh kurang kayak segitu antusiasnya gitu ya. Faktornya sih sebenarnya belakangan tuh banyak banget ya. Tapi salah satunya itu gue cuma berharap juga mereka ada fokusin sesuatu di Indonya biar Wild Rift itu lebih kayak dilihat juga. Misalnya kayak lebih banyak marketingnya. Gue lagi berharap sih belakangan tuh kayak ada banyak iklan gitu kayak soal si Wild Rift gitu di YouTube minimal. Jadi walaupun mereka udah punya game berkualitas kayak gini, tapi orang-orang tuh pasti banyak yang masih nggak tahu, banyak yang nggak main. Dan belakangan itu jujur ngebikin gue sedikit ada capek juga. Makanya sorry kalau misalnya hari ini gue kelihatannya sedikit underwhelmed ya. Tapi thank you so much yang masih nonton ya guys ya. I appreciate you guys, I love you guys so much. Dan gue jujur, gue cuma lagi capek aja. Tapi thank you yang masih nonton. Dan ya, I'll see you guys next time. Nanti mungkin di konten lain atau di stream. Bye.